For so many furniture flippers out there, one of your main tasks that you have to do is stage your furniture for selling. So I wanted to show you what works for me when I stage my pieces. For you, a backdrop is so crucial. So we are here in a warehouse studio space, and I have this backdrop that I painted, and it's a fairly neutral backdrop. So I have staged many different colors of pieces in front of it, and I used a couple of different layers of colors with using a fresco texture. And it's a texturizing medium that you add to the paint, and I was able to create this beautiful faux wall effect. But there's a couple of different options that you can do. Go to a local blinds store, measure out what you need for a backdrop, and just hang a blind that pulls down from the top. And you can have many different colors that way. It's a fairly inexpensive but high quality backdrop for you to use because it doesn't play with the focus when you're working with a camera. Some of the other photo backdrops that you can buy on the market kind of look a little bit funny in terms of how far the distance is. As well, when you're looking at installing a floor, we actually have a real faux laminate floor on here, and I went to Home Depot and I grabbed whatever was in their clearance section that looked really great, and we just ticked it all together. So it didn't cost me much money at all, but here I've got a beautiful floor that's going to withstand the wear and tear of moving furniture on and off of it. And again, it's fairly neutral enough that it'll work with many different finishes and colors that you use for your furniture. Now, let's talk about the fun stuff when you are staging your furniture. What I like to incorporate are different types of materials. So I like to think of wood, natural elements, items like that. I like to bring in fabrics, different patterns and colors that will complement the colors that you have on your piece. So for instance, this one is the English rose. It's a very soft pink, and I wanted to add a little bit of height and texture here. So I put these beautiful round feather pieces up here, and again, they just help to add a little bit of texture and really bring some dimension and height to the photo itself. Your goal when you are staging is to make it feel like it's a real piece in a home that someone can just walk into and bring home with them. Now, if you use paint, you can easily change a couple of accessories that you can use over and over again for your staging. For example, if you have a couple of old books, think about painting the sides of them different colors. This is a very neutral color. You can use the metallics. Metallic gold is really in right now too, so you can do that. And you can even change the cover by adding a transfer medium to it and just putting any image on there that you want. That's again a little more generic and neutral and will fit with many different styles. I am a big fan of candles, and remember the different heights and threes. The rules of threes and different heights is very good for when you're staging. So I usually put things in threes. Sometimes things in twos work. So over here, to give a little bit of balance, I have this candelabra and I have a smaller candle holder. Same sort of texture feel. I've got a lot of texture going on here, but it's very neutral and it plays off of the wall colors nicely and the feathers nicely, and it doesn't take away from our piece. This is our focal piece. We don't want to lose this. I needed something else in the middle. I was thinking of maybe putting some art here, but I wanted to tie in again the wood with the sort of cream feather color. So I had this little piece here. I just nailed it into, put a little screw in the wall and hung it off of there. And it just kind of helps to tie and bring everything in together. So there's not a big gap in the middle, but it also isn't overpowering. And it has a really nice message too. When you look at such a pretty piece, of course you feel love, and it's just gorgeous. Let's talk about fake floral arrangements for your pieces. If you're going to be using flowers on your piece, I would recommend investing in some really high quality, high-end looking florals. These look like real flower arrangements, but they're fake, so they're gonna last you time and time again. And again, it's really worth the investment to make in this type of arrangement here. A lot of home decor stores will offer this. So if you're going to use flowers, try and use like nice neutral colors and something that looks really real. So it's really worth investing in this type of a floral. But you really can't tell on camera whether these are real or synthetic. And they just look great, really pretty. You get some nice pops of color as well if you want in there. But remember, you don't want to take away from your piece, you just want to complement it. So something nice and neutral. And wooden wicker baskets, I love them. I love having natural fibers and textures. You can also think about adding a floor mat, adding just a little rug there to play with the piece if it works. I wouldn't add anything here because it would just take away from it too much, so I was really happy leaving it as is, but I did add a little bit of texture by the pillow with a throw, kind of like a faux fur throw, again to pull in the natural elements like we have here with the feathers as well. I ended up going with a very neutral theme. Originally I had in mind doing the pink and gold because that's so on trend right now. But when I went to do it, I just felt that when I added the gold, it was just pulling too much in the wrong direction for me. So instead I ended up going with this more neutral piece here. But see, for example, if I put that there, it just didn't quite flow for me with the piece. So I thought, no, it's pulling too much the wrong direction. So I decided to go more neutral. And again, these items you can get from Value Village. Add a little bit of paint to it, a little bit of fresco to it, you get a great texture. And they don't need to be quality pieces because it's something that you're just gonna see on camera. So if it doesn't have the best functionality, that's totally okay because it's all, in this instance, it's all for show. Staging your pieces is really one of the best things that will help sell them very quickly. I hope that you can use a couple of these tips that I've given you so you can flip your furniture using Fusion Mineral Paint.